Order! Order! You are an incorrigible delinquent at times. Behave yourself, man!
Now, a High Court judge has upheld a wide-ranging injunction which prevents unlawful protests against fracking operations by the petrochemical giant INEOS. However, in what the protesters claimed as a partial victory, harassment has been removed from the order, which they had described as draconian. The injunction threatens jail or financial penalties against anyone who unlawfully obstructs the company's shale gas operations. Here's our senior Home Affairs correspondent, Simon Israel.
The Yorkshire village of Woodsets is one of INEOS's 8 sites. The plan is to frack in these fields sometime in the future. Injunction notices went up in the summer. All have now disappeared. Villagers' reaction was less than welcoming. Adrian Knight and his wife are worried their autistic daughter would find herself inadvertently in breach on one of her many walks.
We're people that, whether we support fracking or we don't support fracking, we simply want to be heard. And by serving us with an injunction, it's like they're just gagging us. We can't say anything, we can't protest against what they intend to do, and it's just not democratic at all.
He was one of many from the village to challenge INEOS's sweeping injunction. Today's ruling is being seen as a partial victory. The order stays for now, but without any mention of harassment. Mr. Justice Morgan said,
"The order put forward by the claimants does not provide any information as to what is or isn't permitted beyond the use of the word harassment. I do not consider that the claimants have demonstrated a need for the court to make an order."
They can spin it however they like, but the way I see it is today we've cut off one of their legs of this injunction. We'll be coming back in a couple of weeks' time to apply to cut off their arms. And we won't stop coming until there's not much left of them.
Guys are still here.
INEOS sees it differently. This is some of the footage of anti-fracking demonstrations submitted as evidence by the company,
Let's move out of the way, please.
including lock-ons, obstruction, slow walking and climbing on vehicles. 2017 has seen 375 arrests up until October. The judge accepted the company's claim there's a real risk of harm, that its activities are lawful, and has asked for clarification on what constitutes harassment.
We've faced, really unlawful behaviour towards our equipment and sites, and we've been able to evidence that in court. We have a responsibility to protect our staff and our contractors from things like obstruction, theft, damage, trespass, and the injunction that has been awarded today allows us to do that.
But you've had to withdraw the bit about harassment, haven't you?
The injunction allows us to protect the sites against obstruction, against trespass, against theft, damage to equipment. And what's been said in relation to harassment is that if we see harassment occurring, then we can return to court and present evidence of that.
But residents like those in Woodset were terrified because they didn't know what anybody meant by harassment. They didn't know if you accidentally wandered off into the fields or wandered off the track, could that be termed harassment? You terrified them.
So from our perspective, look, I've been up personally to a lot of these meetings. We're going to continue going to those exhibitions. We're going to continue to meet with local people. We're pleased that that injunction's in place. We faced real dangerous behaviour that posed a threat to our sites, to our people, to our supply chain, which is why we came to court to seek that reasonable injunction.
You don't think you've gone way overboard here, and actually in the desire for profit, you're denying the right to protest?
Well, I think, over 80% of our homes are using natural gas for heating. We're importing over 50% of it to the UK. We think there's a lot of good reasons why natural gas from beneath our feet is a good thing, not just for us as a company, but more widely in the UK. It's a lawful operation, it's a national resource, stewarded under a national licence, and it's lawful business.
The question still unresolved is whether any threatened protests will be unlawful in Woodsets or anywhere else. The company insists it's not trying to prevent peaceful demonstrations, but the injunction will no doubt have some impact.
Simon Israel reporting.